Hey guys, how you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing good. Probably doing better than me, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so for today's video, as the title suggests, I wanted to talk about something that happened yesterday, and that is, I got fired from my job. First off, I guess don't feel bad for me. I was already thinking about quitting, months ahead, and let's just say, the company beat me to it. But from all this that happened, there's one thing I want to talk about, which, actually, you know what, let's go back to the beginning. So basically, long story short, about, I think, almost a year ago now, I applied to this company, and I got hired, and that position was apprentice electrician. So I did wiring for, certain, our company did commercial electrical work for companies and contractors and blah blah all that. Anyway, last December, so December 2024, I got sent to the construction side. So for those of you who don't know, there's two different sides to like the electrical field. There's service, which is where like you see the guys in the vans and they go and they repair something at one company, like a light's not working or whatever. And then there is the construction side, which is usually like new construction, which is if a company like a car dealership, which kind of where I was, wants to build a new repair shop, you do electrical for that new building, which is what I was doing. And so anyway, I did that. I started that in December, and so from December until now, it was yesterday, June 20th, I think, I was at that same building, finishing it up and anything. Well, we finished the building, I think, at the end of May. It was close to the beginning of June is when the building got done, and the last couple weeks we've just been doing, touch-ups here and there. But apparently, I don't know the full details, and I won't go into too much detail, partly because I don't know everything. But essentially, either the company, like the higher ups in my company that I used to work for, or the company that owned the dealership, I don't know. One of them or both weren't happy with how it turned out, and a lot of people got fired. Not just me. I was only one of many. Yeah, I think in total there was, 8 of us. So like, for those who don't know, like there's like one journeyman, who basically someone who's had experience in the field for many, many years, and they have apprentices work under them, and that's how they learn, yada yada. And I think there was, 8 or 9 of us total working on that job, and as I know, there could be more, but as of right now, 5 or 6, I think it might be 6 of us, including the journeyman who ran the job, all got canned because somebody didn't like what went down. Which, like I said, that's not what I'm sad about. I was more confused. And like the main question was like, what do these companies want? Like, okay, for me. So basically how I learned, so the head guy, not the journeyman I worked for, but the main guy who oversees the construction side of the business, showed up on site yesterday, and pulled me aside for like I think it was like 10 minutes before my shift's supposed to end, and just said, hey, like, just let you know, today is going to be your last day. Do you still want to be electrician? I said no, because, like I said, I started this job, and I was like, no, I'm not really feeling it. So I was looking for a way out. I just wanted to try it, and turns out it's not for me. And I said no, and he goes, oh, well, okay. If you were staying, I would give you advice, which it's like, why would I take advice from you, even if I did want it? So I just said, no, I wouldn't take it, even if you gave it. And I walked out, and, I walked to my car and went home. That's basically what happened. And, like I said, the main thing is, like, I thought, like, what do these companies want? Like, not to, gloss myself, make sure I'm better than everybody, but, like, I didn't really do anything wrong, and I did what I was told. Like, when I got hired back in July 2024, one of the main things they told me was, you show up on time. That was like the main thing that they emphasized, was show up. Even if, their mentality was, even if a worker does, 50% less work or not as good, if they show it up on time, that would make up for, the less work, whatever, or so they say. And that's what I did. Not because, did I go above and beyond, pledge allegiance to the company? No, because, let's be honest, you never do that in today's workforce, ever. But I didn't do anything like wrong. I never showed up late. I never called in. I took a few half days, because, who doesn't once in a while with stuff going on. But yeah, I did what they told me, and in the end, I still got canned. And so it's like, okay, if you have somebody that, applies for a job and they always show up late and they don't do the work and they get canned, it's like, okay. But then on the other, that makes sense. But then on the other side, you have somebody like me who does show up on time and do what I was told to do, and I get canned too. So it's like, okay, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, I guess. And, with me showing up on time, it's not like, oh, I do it because the company expects it. No, it's just, it's who I am. I've always shown up on time to everywhere, whether it be, a job, I hang out with friends, a movie. It's just, I don't like to be late. It's just who I am. And I did that, and I still got canned with everybody else who, well, some did, some showed up late, sometimes some didn't. But anyway, the point is, like I said, 5, maybe 6, there could be more, I don't know. I think it was 5 or 6 at the moment. One I'm not really sure on. I know it's for sure 5. There was one I don't know officially, because we're all in a group chat, so I don't know if that one actually got fired or not. But yeah, like all of us, they basically took out an entire crew because they weren't happy with the results, which, I guess it's their right, and it's their company to do what they want. But again, like, what do these companies expect? Like, I'm not sad. I'm just more confused as to why. Because, you always hear, oh, nobody wants to work. We can't find workers. And yet they pull stunts, and stuff like this, which, makes people, I don't know. Like I said, I'm more confused as to just, I don't know. I guess this is just the job market in 2025. And it's funny because you always hear like, oh, don't work white collar, go work in the trades. Trades are better. And yet, and trust me, this is this is the trades too. It's, the trades are not safe. It happens everywhere. And I don't know if it's because companies, well, I do know it's because companies don't want to pay anybody. I know that. I know the company, I worked for made boatloads of money. They could have easily paid us more, which I wasn't getting paid that money. I guess I'll tell that. I was only getting paid $18 an hour, which here, because I live in Texas, near the Dallas area, $18 an hour isn't much. It's borderline poverty down here. So I don't know what like a blue collar, like electrical company expects hiring people at $18 an hour, borderline poverty wages. Like, do they expect us to break our back for that, that much work and that little pay? Like, no. Like, you are insane if you think that. Well, I mean, that was just a short little, rant, I guess, about. I just wanted to discuss this topic that happened. And like I said, don't feel bad for me. Like I said, I was already thinking about quitting, so that kind of did me a favor in that regard. But I'm actually curious though, like, has this happened to you guys? Like, if any one of you experienced this or know somebody who has experienced this, I'm really curious. Because it seems that it's happening more and more often. Like, you see, videos on the internet, people getting fired for, no reason, or sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not. And yet companies are still complaining, oh, we can't find anybody, when they don't want to treat their employees good and stand by them. So it's like, why would anybody, want to work if they're just gonna be treated badly? Like, it's like a relationship. Why would you enter in like a business relationship with someone who will not hold up their end and will not treat you, I don't want to say with respect, I guess with respect, but treat you, I guess, nice, or like a decent human being should. And so, yeah, one thing which I know I thought about, overnight is, with this and with other, companies I've dealt with in the past, other jobs, I have no sympathy for companies that, complain and moan that they can't find anybody, no one wants to work, when stuff like this keeps happening, and you see videos and it's happening all over. Yeah, I don't have sympathy for companies who do this. Like, if you're not going to treat people like an employee should, don't expect people to work. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not rocket science. But, yeah, anyway, guys, that was just, short, I guess not short, that was just the video I wanted to make discussing this topic. Like I said, if anything like this has happened to you, like, tell me in the comments down below. I would like to hear it, because I know I'm not the only one. But yeah, that's the video for today, guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, because I know I will, now that I don't have to go to a job I don't like anymore. So yeah, take care, guys.